This video is so that you can keep up your yoga practice at home, and today we'll be focusing on moving the hips and gluteal muscles and legs. So do take up a cross-leg position, cross mid-shin and sit on a raise if your knees are above your hips. You can take the buttock flesh a little bit behind so that you're sitting on the centre of your buttock bones, and draw up through the spine. Look straight ahead at eye level, open the chest, draw the upper arms down, draw the shoulder blades down, and just contain the front ribs. Feel the height between the tailbone and the top of the head. Lengthen the back of the neck, take the ears back, and feel the eyelids becoming heavy so that you can close the eyes and just come into yourself. Notice your breath. Notice the rising and falling of the breath. Notice the movement of the breastbone. And when you breathe in, notice how the breastbone moves forwards and upwards as the bottom of the chest fills with air. If it's comfortable for you, then we'll take a couple of longer, slightly deeper breaths. Without making any extra effort, just keep that slow, fine stream of air moving in through the nostrils, down to the bottom of the chest. Feel the air fill up through the chest. And then breathe out. Slow breath out. Keep drawing up through the spine. Deeper breath in and out. And then when you're ready, come back to normal breathing and bring your hands together in front of the chest. Support the breastbone with your thumbs. Match the palms and fingers. Bring the elbows a little forwards. We'll chant Om together 3 times. So take a deeper breath. And then lower your head. Return your hands to your legs, open your eyes and bring your head up. So we'll start in Adho Mukha Virasana. So bring the toes together, the heels apart, and sit firmly on the heels. Feel that weight going down from the pelvis through into the shins and legs. And keep that anchorage as you lengthen the front body. Bring the front body forwards, take the hands forwards. Keep the tail tailbone tucking in so you haven't lost that pressure through the shins and through the feet. In your own time, walk the hands a little more forwards if you can, without losing the length in the front body. The head doesn't have to reach the floor. You can support the head on bricks, but when you lower your head, don't round the upper back. Still keep the length in the front body. Be aware of your breath. Press into the fingers. Lift the elbows. Keep the shoulders back. Still press into the feet, the front of the feet, the centre of the shins. Feel that expansion in the diaphragm as you breathe. Release your face. And then you can bring your head up. And from here, come onto all fours. Separate the feet, tuck the toes under. Come up into dog pose. If this is your first dog pose, then by all means you can bend the knees and get some extra length from the fingers to the hips. And then straighten the legs. Keep the height of the hips. It doesn't matter if your heels reach the floor or not, but keep the length in the side body. Soften your face and feel the breath moving into the chest. Still press the fingers, lift the elbows, lift the shoulders. Press the thighs back. Fill out the back of the thigh. And then walk the feet forwards and come up. And then we'll come forwards in Uttanasana. If you've got some bricks handy or blocks, you can put them for hand supports. Take your feet hip distance apart. Spread the feet on the ground. You may want to pick the toes up and pull the feet forward and spread all the toes out. And lift up, draw the thighs up, tuck the tailbone in, draw up through the chest, open the front body, breathe in. As you breathe out, come forwards, keep that length. You can use the blocks so you can keep that straightness in the spine, that length in the front spine. If you haven't got blocks, then by all means you could hold the back of your legs and draw forwards. Or you may be able to come a little lower or even to the floor. Look forwards, take your shoulders back, keep the tailbone tucking in. And then when you're ready to breathe out again, you may be able to either take your hands down either side of your feet, keep the length on the spine, or you may just hold your legs and draw a little further forwards. Let go of your head. Breathe. Make sure you're pressing firmly down on the balls of your feet and your heels, drawing up through your thighs, filling out the back thighs. And then walk the hands forwards again and come up. Right, we're going to do a couple of salute to the suns just to warm up the body. So come to the front of your mat, feet together. Remember not to jump if you have any injuries or joint problems. So draw up through the body, lift the arms, breathe in. As you breathe out, come forwards. Hands can either be just forwards, or if you can reach the floor, all well and good, and look forwards. Breathe in. As you breathe out, come all the way down, or take your hands behind your legs. And then bend the knees, look forwards. Now either take little steps back into dog pose, feet hip distance apart, or you can jump. Spend a moment here, pressing on the hands, lengthening the body. And then head up, look forwards, tuck the tailbone in, take the shoulders back. Think of lifting the chest through the arms. Dog face up. If that's hard for you, then you can put your knees down and keep that lower back tucking in as you lift the chest. And then back to dog pose. Look forwards, bend the knees, then either little steps back or jump back. Stretch forwards, stretch down, arms up, and bring the hands into Namaste. One more of those, a little bit quicker. Take the arms up, come forwards, come down, bend the knees, step or jump, back to dog pose, look forwards, lift the chest, tailbone in, come through the arms, straight legs, lower the shoulders, spread the collarbones, back to dog pose, look forwards, small steps or a jump, stretch forwards, stretch down, arms up and down. All right, now we're going to repeat that, but we're going to put Virabhadrasana 2 into that sequence. So I'll do it the other way around so that you can see better. So, feet together, arms up, come forwards, stretch forwards, look forwards, stretch down, bend the knees, step or jump back into dog pose. Really lengthen the body, make the legs strong. Now come up on the toes, bring the right foot all the way up between the hands. Now if that doesn't quite work out and you end up here, then you just pick your foot up and put it between your hands as best you can. And then turn the left foot onto its side here so that the heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. And then come up here so that the thigh is parallel with the floor, the front knee is back, press on the outer edge of the back leg, take this hip in, stretch the arms and look over the front leg. Breathe. Make sure that you haven't turned your chest. Your body is looking forwards. Your tailbone is tucking under. Shoulders release. Fingers stretch. And to come out of this, we'll turn back to the right leg. Hands either side. Step back into dog pose. Then come up on your toes. Bring the left foot forwards. Turn the right leg on its side. And come all the way up. Virabhadrasana 2. Make sure this leg the thigh is parallel to the ground. The knee is trying not to come forwards. Back hip is in. You lift up out of the front hip. Keep the body facing forwards and turn to look over the front arm. Virabhadrasana warrior pose. Hit that back leg back. Keep it strong and straight. And then take the arms back, either side of the front foot, back to dog pose. Lift the chest. Remember, you can put the knees down if you want to. Back to dog face up. You can either leave the knees down or lift the legs up. Back to dog pose. And then small steps or a jump forwards, stretch forwards, come down, all the way up and down. Right, so into there, we're going to insert Parshvakonasana. So you may need a brick for your hand in Parshvakonasana. So we're going to put that behind or on the right side of the mat. So it will be behind your right foot. So come to the front, stretch up, stretch forwards, stretch down, bend the knees, small steps or a jump, dog pose. Get the length in the body, the lift in the arms, the work in the legs. Breathe. And then lift up through the toes. Bring your right foot forwards as much as you can. Now in this position, keep the right hip tucking in. Don't let it move out to the right. Bring the brick in by the ankle here. And then we're going to turn the back leg. You can put your hand on the brick or on the floor. You can have the brick high or low. Or if none of that is available to you, you can always put your hand, your elbow on the knee. So here again, we need this parallel leg. We need to keep that right buttock in, turn the abdomen, lift the arch of the back foot, hit that back leg back, turn the whole body, take the arm up. So think of pressing down on the brick or the floor or the leg and lifting up through the bottom arm and stretching to the top arm. Turn the abdomen, waist, chest. Turn the top hand if you can and take it over your ear. A whole body stretch from the back, foot, toes to the top arm fingers. Remember to breathe. Okay, and then come down. Hands either side of the front foot. You can move your brick to the left hand side now. So back to dog pose. Catch your breath. Press into the hands. Lift up through the elbows. You might want to just bend your knees a minute. Take the breastbone nearer to your thighs. And then take the legs back a little bit more. Okay, up on the toes. Bring the left foot forwards. Turn the back foot. Toes coming slightly in. Use the brick if you need to. And turn the body. Keep that buttock in. Don't let it poke out. And then really tuck the tailbone in. Don't let the tailbone poke out. Now, the criteria for the brick is that you need to have a long, straight body. You don't want to be curving over in the body. That's why height helps. Lift up through the bottom arm, draw up through the top arm, shoulders back, turn the hand, take it over your ear. Whole right side body stretch. Hit that right leg back. Lift the arch on the right foot. Parshvakonasana, side angle stretch. And then come back Hands either side of the foot. Back to dog pose. Look up, come forwards, dog face up, back to dog pose, and then either a jump or little steps forwards, stretch down, arms up, and back to Namaste. Okay, just one more pose to put in that sequence, and that's Trikonasana, triangle pose. So feet together, draw up through the legs, tailbone in, stretch up, stretch forwards, stretch down, bend the knees, come back to dog pose. Really try not to leave the shoulders too near the ears. Lift the shoulders, lengthen the body. Really press the outer shins back, the whole front of the foot back, anchoring both sides of the heels equally. Okay, come up on your toes. Bring the right foot forwards. Turn the left foot. Now, depending on your flexibility, you can either, you've got to keep that right buttock in. You can either keep your hand down there and straighten the leg, but you need to have a straight body. So you may very well need to come up and hold your leg so that all this is extending. Keep the shoulder back. Rotate this thigh outwards so this hip lifts, and keep the tail in. Turn the whole body. Take the arm up, but as you do so, make sure you haven't rotated that bottom shoulder. Keep that bottom shoulder back. And lengthen the body from the tailbone, which is tucking in, to the crown of the head. You can look forwards, or you could turn your whole head to look at the ceiling. Keep the back of the neck long. Think of turning the ears evenly. Keep pulling up through those thighs and pressing down on your feet. Okay, and then turn back to your front leg, bend your knee, hands either side of the foot. Step back, dog pose, lengthen the body, come up on the toes, bring the left foot forwards, turn the right foot, and then straighten the front leg, bring the thumb forwards, the fingers behind, keep that left buttock in, keep that tailbone in. Turn the whole body. Take the top arm up. Take the shoulders back. Lengthen. Feel these ribs going down. And the lower ribs, really extend the body from that left hip to the waist, to the collarbones. Turn your head only if it's comfortable for your neck. Firm feet, release your toes, lift the arches, lift the thighs, fill out the back thighs. And then to come out, turn, hands either side of the front foot. Take this foot back, stretch through the body, look forwards, dog face up, back to dog pose, bend the knees, jump or step all the way back, stretch forwards, stretch down, arms up, and back to Namaste. breath, come back to normal. Lower the shoulders. Feel your feet draw up through your legs. Draw up through the crown of your head. All right. So now we're going to sit back on the ground in a cross-legged position. So, bring your right leg in front of your left leg and bring the shins parallel to the edge of the mat. Now, if you've got sort of bony ankles or your feet hurt, what I do is either put a blanket or you can fold the mat over and it makes it slightly more comfortable for you there. And don't forget to sit on a block if your knees are high up. All right, we're going to turn to the right. So breathe in and then just take your left hand to your right knee and your right hand behind and turn the body. So turn the body, keep the spine lifting up and turn from the abdomen, the waist, the chest, the shoulder girdle. Draw up through the crown of the head. Come back to the front and we'll turn the body again to the left. If you can't reach your hand to the floor at the back, then do use something to put your hand on. Just turn your head, so if you look down, you want your head to be level with your breastbone. So we don't overturn. Come back to the front. Put the hands in front of you. Try to keep length in the body. And here again, if you find it difficult to reach the floor, this is when, a support, a brick, a block is always useful rather than be sort of crumpled over and have the heart area squashed. And when you come a little bit forwards, make sure you feel the whole centre buttock still on the ground. You don't want to roll over in your pelvis. Keep firmly anchored. The legs aren't tipping forwards. The thighs are moving from the knee back into the groin. So keep the front body. Sometimes these stretches, they don't occur immediately, so take your time. And throw away all targets of where you think you need to be. You are where you are, and that's the perfect place for you. You can let your head come down, but don't let your shoulders round. Keep the collarbones moving forwards. And keep that breathing in the diaphragm and the softness in the throat and in the eyes. All right, and then slowly come up. And we'll stretch the legs out a moment. If you want, you can give the feet a bit of a wiggle. Loosen the knees. If you do have a knee problem and that gives you discomfort, you can take a belt. If you haven't got a belt, you could have a sock or something. And when you cross your legs, you can put it at the back of the knee. It makes a little bit more space there. Opens up the joint, and you may find that's a lot more comfortable. If that doesn't completely work, then you could take a blanket and with the blanket you can fold it and you can just put it between the feet and the knees. I know these things because I did have a bad knee once, and that used to relieve the discomfort around the inside of the joint for me. So we'll turn to the right again, so lift up, lower the shoulders, breathe in. As you breathe out, take the left hand across, the right hand behind. Use your hands as levers to turn from the lower body, the middle body, the upper body. Look down, see where your breastbone is, and bring your head up in that place. Lower the shoulders. Come back to the front, lift up, turn. Turning to the left. So you can use your right hand to encourage the body round, but don't bring the right shoulder blade with you. Keep it on the back. Keep lifting up evenly through the spine. Check where your breastbone is for your head. Try and think of the crown of the head above the tailbone. And then come back. And then long body. You may only come a little way, and that's absolutely fine. When you feel a stretch in your hips, that's enough for you to bear, then stay there. You don't want to feel that you're in a place that you couldn't stay. You can push back, use your hands to push back to keep that weight through the buttocks. And lengthen from the front of the pelvis to the navel. We're not curling over, we're stretching out. You can flex your feet a little bit more and keep your face soft. Breath must stay normal, relaxed, soft, as must the face. We don't want to put any extra tightness into the body. Yoga is all about opening up the body. You can lower your head, remember, but don't lower your upper back. Don't curl your upper back. And breathe into the diaphragm. Be somewhere you can enjoy. If we don't enjoy the practice, we're not as likely to repeat it. And then come all the way up. Got my little plan here. So now we're going to lie on the floor. You might need to have a belt, a dressing gown cord, or a towel will do. And you're going to lie down with your knees bent, legs together. Then you're going to take your right ankle and put it across the left thigh. Now, I'm going to bring my left knee towards me. I want my right knee to go away, and I can hold over the top of my left knee as I bring it towards me. But if that's not available, then you can take your belt or whatever you've got, put it around the back of your left thigh, and just draw the belt towards you here. Try and keep the weight even on the back of your sacrum, that wide flat area at the back of the spine. Also, try and keep that right foot flexed. Try not to sort of bulge outwards on the outer ankle. And keep your face soft. Here again, we're only moving within our stretching zone, not within our needing to escape zone. If you're practicing on your own, it's quite useful to keep these stretches for about a minute so that the whole area gets a chance to release. Okay, and then return the legs so the feet are together. Knees are together. Then bring the left foot, the ankle is on the thigh. Remember, you can put the belt around the back of the thigh, and then bring the right knee towards you. You can flex the foot. Ideally, you want the left knee to be going away from you. Just make sure your breath is easy. You can feel the diaphragm expanding. Normal breathing. You can imagine, if you like, that the whole left hip area is opening up, is soft, and it will open as it will. We can't make it be anything else than it is. Okay, and then release. Bring the legs here again. Now, bring the right leg here so that the foot looks to the ceiling. And then I'm taking my right arm through the inside, here, inside of my knee, and I'm holding the outside of my foot. And then the left arm comes on the inside of the foot. And I'm keeping the foot looking at the ceiling. Here again, if you can't reach that, you can always put this belt or towel round the leg. Ideally, the shin is vertical, and what I'm doing now is I'm trying to press the knee down towards the ground. Trying to keep the sacrum even on the ground. The left side might want to come up, but keep it down. You can either keep the left leg bent, or if you choose, you could stretch it out. Makes the pose a little bit more of a challenge, and press the left thigh down on the ground. Here again, we haven't come here to force the body into submission. We're just giving it the opportunity to enjoy opening. Okay, and then release. Bring the knees together again. Bring the left foot up. I've got my left arm up the inside, hold the outside of the foot. My right hand holds the inside. And then I've got my knee coming down on the outside of my upper arm, down towards the ground. And then if you choose, you don't have to, you can bring that right leg down. And spend a few moments just seeing how much that left hip will open, how much that knee will approach the ground. Just pressing, putting a bit of weight onto the foot. And pressing, if you've got the leg straight, the right leg, extending the right leg, pressing the right thigh down, drawing the right big toe away, the little toe back towards you. Okay, and then release. Extend both legs away from you on the ground. You might, with legs bent, you might just want to move the sacrum in the direction of the feet. And then straighten the legs, tuck the shoulder blades under, and then we're going to bend the right leg up, and this is just another simple stretch. You're going to take the right knee over towards the left side of the body, which lifts the right hip up. You're going to put your left hand on your right knee and draw it down towards the ground.
try not to overly rotate the left leg. You can extend the right arm out here and to keep the shoulders anchored. And just see how much can you get that right knee to approach the floor. Ideally, the left thigh is rolling in towards the right hip. Keep the knee, the right knee, at hip height. Okay, and come all the way back, straighten the legs. Bend the left knee, take it over the body, hand on the knee here, right hand. Extend the left arm, keep both shoulder blades down, and just see, keeping the right leg as firm as you can, how much that left knee wants to approach the ground. Ideally, you might feel some stretch in the buttock muscles, in the thighs, maybe in the shoulders. Wherever you feel it, that's where you need it. And breathe easily again. Okay, and then release. And then we'll come back up to sitting.
And now you might want to sit on a support for this one. I'll start off sitting on 2 blocks, but you can also sit on the floor. So what you're going to do is, if you're sitting up on bricks, you're going to bring your left foot round the right side of the brick and let the left knee come down. If you're sitting just on the floor, the left foot comes on the outside of the right hip. And then you might want to come forwards because you want to cross the right knee over the left knee, okay? And the feet are going out to each side of the hip. So if you're sat up higher, it makes it a little bit easier on the outer hips if you've got some tightness there. If you're sitting on the floor, it's a little bit harder then. You might find that the top knee comes up, but that's fine. And lift up. And we'll turn to the right. So if you just bring your left arm across, your right arm behind, lift and turn. Use your hands like levers. Just check where your breastbone is. Lower your shoulders. Just exploring how our body reacts to each pose. Without any judgment, just enjoying or just gaining knowledge about how our body is today. And then come forwards. And then here again, you may just want to sit here. This may be enough, but if you can lengthen the front body, you can also walk the hands a little bit forwards, but you need to keep your buttocks anchored. You're not trying to bring them off the floor. Keep length in the abdomen, length in the chest, breadth across the collarbones, not hunching the shoulders. Just experiencing a little more stretch. Coming all the way up, releasing the legs. You might want to stretch them out, open your knees. And then if you're sitting on your blocks, bend the knees, and if you're on the ground, bring the right foot now through to the outer left hip. So the outer left hip stays on the ground. You can come forwards though to get the left knee over the top, and then you're going to sit between your feet. If you do a lot of walking or running, often the gluteal muscles can get strong, but in that strength there's can get a little tightness, so this is really good to release that. And then we'll turn to the left, so bring the right hand across, the left hand behind, lift and turn. Turn from the lower abdomen, the waist, the chest. Use your arms, draw up through the body, lower the shoulders. Just seeing what that feels like. And then coming forwards again. Keep that length, that lift up. And only if you can. Remember, if you want to come a little forwards and you can't reach the floor, remember you've got your blocks, your bricks. If you have, you can put the hands on there. As long as you keep your buttocks still on the ground. Lengthen the abdomen, lengthen the chest, openness in the chest. Remember, sometimes these muscles take a little while. You can't go to your furthest stretch by forcing it. You have to just let it occur. And one of the knee yamas is to foster contentment with whatever is. So don't set a target for where it needs to be. Okay, and then we'll come all the way back up. Release your legs. Right, we're going to do a twist now. So you may either want to sit on a brick or use a blanket to support your hips, because you need to have even hips. We're going to twist in Baddha Vajrasana. So I'll sit on a brick. You bend your knees. You take your right leg through, so it's on the outside of the brick. And then you fold the left leg over, so the centre of the left foot is on the inner part of the right foot, and you want this leg, this thigh, to be looking up. And you need to feel that you're even in the hips. So if you put your hands on the hips, you don't want to be like this. If you're like this, you need to sit a little bit higher, or you could put just the blanket under just the right hip to even the hips up. Remember, if you're sitting on some support and your arms don't reach the floor, you'll need to put something behind you. So we're going to lift up, keep as much weight as possible through the left buttock, and then take the left hand across, the right hand behind, and turn. So keep the buttocks firmly on the ground, and turn the abdomen, turn the waist, turn the chest. See where your breastbone is. That's where your head is. Lower your shoulders. And then come back to the front. This time we'll go again, but this time when we take the left hand round, we're going to put the back of the hand here. It just helps keep the chest a little bit more open than if the arms are rolling in. So draw up through the spine, breathe in. As you breathe out, turn, place the back of the hand. Ideally, in the end, the fingers go a little bit under the thigh, but don't worry, just the back of the hand will do. And draw up through the spine. Keep the front ribs in the body. Keep the right side of the body long. Don't let it bulge out. Keep the left buttock firm. And then come all the way back to the front. Bring the legs forwards again. And take them now to the right side. So we'll take the left foot forwards and around the outside of the block and fold the right leg on top. So the centre of the right foot rests on the sole of the left foot, and lift the inner thigh here so that the thigh bone's looking up to the ceiling, and then feel where your hips are. Remember, you can support the left one a little bit more if you're lopsided. Breathe in. As you breathe out, turn to the left now. Put the right hand on the thigh and take the left hand behind. Draw up, turn. Hands are like little levers to turn your body that much more. Breathe into the diaphragm. Allow the whole of the diaphragm to expand. So we're not just breathing in the top chest, just breathing normally, but we're not restricting the breath. Make sure the eyes are soft and also the jaw. Come back to the front, lift up. Remember, we're going to use the back of the hand now. So breathe in and then come round, back of the hand here. If you can tuck the fingers under, all well and good. But keep length in both sides of the body. Anchor that right buttock and turn. Draw up, crown of the head above the tailbone. Lower the shoulders. Okay, and then come all the way round, and then we'll loosen the legs. Okay, to finish this sequence for you, I'm going to use 4 blocks. If you haven't got any, you can improvise with blankets or cushions under the lower back, or you can simply do this pose on the floor. So I'm going to put the blocks like this so that you can see. I'm going to use the settee, but I'm going to pretend that's a wall. So these blocks are to support my legs and my lower back. They're not to support my back ribs, and I need to have my shoulders on the ground. And this pose can be safely practiced if you're pregnant or if you're menstruating, but obviously if it hurts your back, you can go down to just one block or just lie flat on the floor, or you might want to lie flat on the floor and just put your lower legs on the settee or on a chair. So the only tricky bit is really establishing how far away you need to be. So I think I need to be just slightly nearer. Keep your feet on the floor. Bring your elbows down first. Get your shoulders down. Shoulders on the ground, chest lifting, and then extend your legs. So you're not going to strain your back at all.
We're a little bit lower than we might be for Setu Bandha, but we're going to stay a little while with the legs straight. So press the thighs down, have the feeling of the thighs rolling in a little bit towards each other so that the inner thighs are going down. Extend the feet into the wall. Let the pelvis, the back of the pelvis, the sacrum move towards the feet. Tuck your shoulder blades under and feel the sides of the chest lifting. Let your body be perfectly supported by the ground, by the blocks. Slightly long back of the neck, back of the head, soft face. Feel the expansion yet again in the diaphragm. Release the buttocks. Release the abdomen. Soften your face. And then if it's comfortable for you, you may like to spend a few moments with Baddha Konasana legs. So you bring the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to drop out. Keep the sacrum moving towards the feet. And here again, come back to your breath. You can close your eyes for a few moments. And then once more, just straightening the legs. Pressing the thighs down, lifting the chest. And then to come out of the pose, just bend your knees, lift your pelvis, remove the bricks. To ease your back, you may want to hug your knees in to your chest. And then when your back is comfortable, we'll just get ready for Shavasana.
So here again, if you have a jumper or a blanket, it's important to make sure you're warm. And when you lie out on the ground, you can always support your head with a blanket or with a foam block. If you need to, you don't want your head to tip back. So put that for your head. You need to sit with your feet in a straight line. Maybe that's a little bit near. And take yourself back. Support the whole neck and head with the blanket if you're using it. And I like to press my elbows down and really draw the shoulder blades under the back. Let the legs drop out away from the centre. Roll the upper arms outwards. And let the arms be a little space from the body. Keep the neck long and close the eyes. Come back to your breath. And now is the time to think of totally releasing the body. We've stretched and opened the body. Feel that the legs are long and extend away. You might want to move your heels a little bit away from your calves. Allow your thighs to really release down. Let the arms extend out of the shoulders. Let the floor support the whole arm completely. Let the upper arms quite firmly release down. Release the buttocks. Feel a broadness in the sacrum, the lower back. And softness in your abdomen. Let your throat be soft. And your eyes, allow them to lie back in the sockets. Smooth, soft inhalation. Smooth, soft exhalation. And you may like to stay here for a few more moments. But when you feel that you can move back to the room, then you may want to extend through your limbs,
bend your knees, bring your hands to your tummy, open your eyes, and roll onto your right side to come up. Namaste.